What's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of Mini Logic. It's Zeno here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing, unfortunately, the Manchester United Tottenham game that was played on Saturday. Now, if you don't really know the score, it ended 3-2. Ronaldo scored 3 times, hat-trick, and Kane and Maguire own goal for Tottenham. Now, the most simplest way I can put how the game went is that Tottenham tried. It wasn't like the last time these two sides played and Nuno didn't give the team a sense of direction, vision or anything. It's quite clear to see that the hugest difference between Nuno and Conte is that Conte knows exactly how he wants his team to play and Nuno's flip-flopping. But unfortunately, Manchester United have Cristiano Ronaldo, which is effectively why the game was lost. You know, he scores a goal from 25 yards out. Nothing you can do about that. Fair play. Tottenham work hard and they didn't lose their heads like they did last time these two teams played. They were able to eventually get themselves back into the game. You know, Kulusevski, a little bit of magic, nutmegging Sancho, and then crossing the ball into Tellers, who then reaches out, slaps the ball away. Okay, that's not how it happened, but it was a handball and it was a penalty. And Kane, of course, doesn't miss pens. 19 consecutive penalties now. He scores his 19th penalty in a row. To equalise, it's 2-2. 2-2? 1-1, sorry. Nonetheless, at this point, Tottenham continue to put under pressure. That's what you'd think would happen and what I hoped would happen. But unfortunately, 3 minutes later, Matic sends him Sancho through. I'm thinking this Donny's offside, but turns out Reguilon's left the right leg. His leg keeps him onside, and Sancho's able to get the ball to you-know-who, CR7, and he makes it 2-1, unfortunately. And, you know, what can you do about that? You know, despite the fact that Tottenham, you know, you could say the game, it's very close. It's not like United are by far the better team. It's just that they have Ronaldo. Ronaldo's giving them the 2-1 lead at half-time. And Tottenham, fair play to them. Second half, they came out and they continued to play like they did in the first half. They continued to push. They continued to try to get the equaliser, and United were kind of, you know, they were struggling to contain them. And, you know, even though they did reach a certain point of the match where it looked like, you know, honestly, it reached a point where they looked like they could maybe get away with a win, but it quickly turned to the opposite. Tottenham deserved to score, and they did score, thanks to Maguire, who didn't, you know, like I was saying before, he doesn't have the best of defensive IQs. You know, a defender of his so-called value would be able to anticipate his surroundings. I know it's easier said than done, but maybe he should have known that Romero was offside. Maybe that's how I feel. I guess he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, but there's a thing called spatial awareness. And, you know, sometimes Maguire does like that. He's a bit too simplistic in his defending. And obviously, he puts the ball in his own net. Quite reminiscent to what Michael Keane did for Tottenham the game before. And obviously, Sky Sports then made the reference to point out the fact that own goals is Tottenham's 3rd highest scorer this season. So more goals than Mora, Bergwijn. Which is pretty depressing and pretty much tells you the story of Tottenham Hotspur for the last about 3-4 years maybe. It's the Son and Kane show. You know, they're the best duo in Premier League history if you look at the numbers. You know, I'm just saying. Nonetheless, Tottenham get back into the game. Once again, it's 2-2. And, you know, Tottenham just keep playing how they've been playing. They could win this game. That's honestly how I felt watching it. They were there. But like Conte said after the game, it's a question of experience, about being able to react to the different situations that a normal match would, you know, produce. And Tottenham historically have never been good with that. You know, game management isn't their forte, really. It's not. That's the reality. And, you know, United have only scored 1 goal from 150 corners at this point of the match, yeah? When another corner comes in and Ronaldo scores, jumps all over Doherty. The header goes top bins like his first goal did. You know, and unfortunately, when you have a player of that caliber and that quality, no matter what you do, if he's feeding himself, you might as well not enter the pitch and play a game of football because, hey ho, man, that's Ronaldo for you, isn't it? A pure goal scorer, 807 goals now in his career, He might not have the best goal per game ratio out of all active players, but I'm not going to get into that. He's got 807 goals. He scores goals for fun, this man. And obviously, this season has been amazing for him, but it was always going to be difficult as, a 36, 37-year-old to come to the Premier League, the most physically demanding league in the world, and then proceed to, carry on what you've been doing for the last 8, 9, 10, 11 years. But he still scored a lot of goals this year. I believe those 3 goals take him up to about 18 this season. I think it's 18. Or 12. It's somewhere in the teens, in it, between 10 to 20. But he scores goals and he loves playing against Tottenham. I think he scored more goals against Tottenham than any other Premier League team. There's something about Tottenham that brings the best out of him, I guess they're such a great team. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to say that. But, historically, I guess, with Ferguson's infamous quip about, lads, it's Tottenham. He's always motivated and pumped to play against them. But the truth is, from a Tottenham view, if you watch the game, you can't be too upset because the performance was there. The performance was there, and that's why Conte wasn't reacting like he was after the losses against Southampton and Wolverhampton and Middlesbrough, because of the fact that, the performance was there. And then that performance was there for those 3 games I just mentioned, then Tottenham don't lose those 3 games, and then this game has less importance. United can win this game, but United have played so many more games than Arsenal, West Ham, Arsenal and Tottenham in particular, but I think even West Ham have a game hand over them as well. So although they're 4th now, the reality is that they might not be there for long, but you never know, because Tottenham were in the position where they had many games in hand and then proceeded to choke the job and proceeded to throw away any chance of making top 4. And I think this game puts their hopes in the mud, 6 feet under, no top 4. But unfortunately, because of the unpredictable nature of the Premier League, you can't rule them out, really. Especially with a coach like Conte by their side, within their system. So that's how I feel about that. But Tottenham fans should not be really that discouraged because the performance was actually good. It was there. It was there. And what really cost them is the lack of focus and concentration in key moments, which led to 2 goals. I'm not good. The first goal is just quality. Ronaldo's Ronaldo, isn't it? With that little technique he's got when he shoots the ball and stuff, where he puts his the base of his top part of his foot and he just goes, Most of the time those things go over the bar in there, especially in recent years. But this one, hit the top corner. What can you do about that? That's a moment of true quality. The other 2 goals, Reguilon could have been quicker. Does Sessegnon make that same mistake? But we don't know. Who knows? But I don't remember him making too many defensive. No, take it back. Moving on. I'm not even going to finish that sentence because I don't know where I was going with that. But maybe Sessegnon doesn't make that mistake. Who knows? He, more match fit. Reguilon hasn't played much recently because he was battling with COVID, and his performance today really kind of showed that. Song was non-existent. And for some reason, Conte took off Kulusevski and not Son, even though Kulusevski was a lot more, probably the most threatening out of the front 3 for Tottenham in this match. But that's what I was saying about the concentration in key moments. So obviously, Reguilon made the poor run back to create the offside trap, and he wasn't able to do it quickly enough. And Sancho's run was perfectly timed. And then for the 3rd goal, Romero, I think, was the one looking after Ronaldo, and Doherty doesn't jump with Ronaldo. Ronaldo just wanted the ball more than any Tottenham player did, and he gets his head onto it and he scores. And you can't be mad at that, that's just Ronaldo, isn't it? But you can be mad at it from a Tottenham perspective because, like I said, it's just a lack of concentration in key moments. But if that's how far away they are from being maybe winning these kind of games, then you can't be too mad, really, to be honest. If you're lamenting a lack of focus, because these Tottenham players have always had a lack of concentration, let's be honest here. So to only say it's happened in key moments, there's some improvement going there, and you can see that they've come a long way since Conte's become manager. And Rangnick has helped, in a way, make United a bit more solid. Obviously people were expecting some sort of, Klopp-like football because obviously he is one of the originators of the gegenpress system. But fortunately, implementing that sort of system takes time. It took Klopp a few years. Unfortunately, Rangnick's not going to get that sort of time. He might, but he probably won't. But he's been solid. It's 2 losses in 15 games in the Premier League, I think, since he took charge. So they're not losing many games, and I think that's the least you can ask for. And they're in the thick of it for this top 4 race. It's probably between West Ham United and Arsenal. Arsenal and West Ham maybe have the advantage, who knows, but if Tottenham can win their couple games in hand, then they're right back in it. Even though I just said before that their hopes are 6 foot under, it's just a reaction to the performance and how much more they deserve to take out of it. But all in all, that's what's up. That's the match review. Thank you all for watching, and listening. Hope you guys, found this cool, enjoyed it and stuff. And yeah, man, I'll catch you in the next episode of Mini Logic.
Mini Logic.